Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm starting with the Lawn Fawn Stitched Oval Die, and I'm just placing this in the center of a piece of white cardstock that measures 3 3/4 by 5 inches. And I just ran that through my Cuttlebug and die cut that out. And then I'm going to be inking up 2 pieces of cardstock. So I'm using the Forest Moss Distress ink, and I'm just inking up my paper. I want one edge to be a little bit darker than the rest because this is going to be kind of like my grass on my card. So I'm just inking up the bottom of the paper as well, but it doesn't need to be perfect because most of it is going to be covered up. And then I'm doing the exact same thing with the other piece. You could always throw in another color. You could add in some brown or maybe a different shade of green in there for some variation, but I'm just using the Forest Moss because I want to keep it simple. And then I'm going to take another piece of white cardstock. This one is slightly smaller than the one I cut the oval from. So I'm just inking this piece up with the Tumbled Glass Distress ink, and this is going to be my sky for my card. So again, it doesn't really have to be perfect, but I am just trying to get as even coverage as I can. And I didn't ink the bottom because that's going to be covered up by the grass. Again, like I said, with the green part, you can add in some darker colors, maybe a little chip sapphire or faded jeans to make some variation in the background. You could even stamp in a few clouds, but I'm just keeping this fairly simple and just doing the blue background. So then I'm going to go ahead and take my frame that I die cut. I'm not using the actual circle or the oval, I'm using the outside frame of that. So I'm just putting a little adhesive down so that I can adhere down the grass pieces. And then I'm just going to place that behind there and then secure it down. And then I'm going to add a little bit more adhesive and then add in the other piece. And you could also cut this into like a hill shaped, but I kind of like the more geometric straight edge on this. I'm just going to take my scissors and cut off the extra pieces that hang out from behind. These are my favorite Cutter Bee scissors. They are the non-stick ones. And then I'm going to add a little bit more adhesive all the way around this back so that I can adhere down the sky to my background. And that's why I made it a little bit smaller, just so that it didn't stick out the edges. And then I didn't also have to line it up perfectly. There's that little bit of leeway. Alright, so there is my background for this. Next I'm using the I Moose You stamp set from Mint Owl Studio, and I'm going to stamp this little moose with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink on a piece of Coordination's 110-pound cardstock. I love this set. It's so adorable and there's so many awesome sentiments that go with it. And the other awesome thing, it's only $8 because it's a 3x4 stamp set, so super affordable and you can get many different cards out of it. I'm also inking up the tree and then stamping that one down as well. And then I used my heat tool just to make sure that that ink was completely dried before I started coloring them in. And I'm using my Copics to color these in. For the tree, I'm starting with the YG63. Normally I would start with the YG61, but currently that one is empty, the marker's dried, and I haven't bought a refill for it yet, so that's why I'm starting with the darker color. And then I'm flicking in a little bit of the YG67 just to create some depth on that tree. And then I'm going to go back in and flick in a little bit of that YG63 just so that it blends together. And then for the tree trunk, I'm using the E25. Alright, for the moose, I'm going to start with the belly and the antlers. I'm using the E21. It's kind of like a tan, it's a really light tan color. And I'm also going to color in the nose. And then I'm going to go in with the E23 and color in the face and the body. And this is my base layer, so I always start out with the lighter colors and then add them for the base, and then I work my way to the darker colors and blend all of those together. So then I'm going to go in with the E25 and again just add that little bit of shading all around. And then I'll go back in with my E23 and blend that out. And all of the supplies that I'm using on this card will be linked below if you're interested in any of them. And then I'm also going to go in with the E21 once again and just blend that lightest color out. So I'm going to do that on the nose, the belly, and the antlers. And then I'm going to go ahead and fussy cut those images out, and I left the white border around the edges. So next I'm using the Scripty Sentiments stamp set, and I chose the Thank You stamp set, or the stamp, and I'm inking that up with my Tuxedo Black Memento ink and stamping that on a piece of white cardstock. To this cardstock, I'm also going to cut some fishtail banners on each end. So again, I'm using my Cutter Bee non-stick scissors. These are really nice because the end is really pointed and really sharp, so you get that nice edge on there. Alright, so now I can go ahead and assemble my card together. I have that sentiment strip. I'm going to put a little bit of adhesive just behind one of the spots because I want to pop up part of that sentiment. So I'll show you what I mean. I'm just going to place this down, and the little bit where I put adhesive will stick down. And then I have that, the rest of it you can see is lifted up. It doesn't have any adhesive behind it. So first I'm going to adhere down the tree, and I'm just going to place that so that it looks like it is on the hill that's farther back. And then for the moose, I'm going to add some 3D foam squares. I'm using the large ones from Best Creation. And then I stuck one of those foam squares behind the sentiment as well, so you'll be able to see it in the end. It got cut off on my video. My camera stopped recording, but you'll be able to see how that is popped up. So I'm just going in and adding some more of these foam squares to the back of my entire panel, and I'm going to remove all of the little backings. These are the Best Creation ones. They are my favorite 3D foam squares because I think they work the best. And I'm going to be placing this on a white A2 size card base. So there'll be lots of dimension on this card, and it'll be popped up quite a bit. So I'm just placing that right into the center. And I'm going to be using these crystal flower sequins. These are also from Mandala Studio. These are so fun. They're kind of like the clear sequins, but they have that flower shape. So I'm just randomly scattering these on my card in two groups of 3. It's kind of how it looks the best on cards. And then I'm just adhering them down with my multi-matte medium. So I had to put a little bit of that medium on my non-stick craft sheet because it actually squirted out onto my entire card, so I had to clean that part up. But I'm just dipping them in there and then placing them down onto my card. And that adhesive holds them extremely well. And that is my finished card for today, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial. Make sure that you go and check out Kari's 2,000 subscriber blog hop. We are part of this blog hop, and I will have all the information linked below for you. If you're not already a subscriber, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you so that you don't miss any of my newest videos, and I will see everyone back here next time. Bye!